G'day team and welcome aboard Andrew Chozza, as he's more affectionately known here from Harvey Bay Fly & Sport Fishing, his vessel. We are up here. Oh, g'day mate, I've got to say g'day first. I know, so I'm doing all the gibbering and you're sitting here, you know, just being polite as you are.
That's it.
He is a great guy, great guide, and I tell you what, we are up here at the top end of Fraser Island. What is this area called here, mate?
So we're in Platypus Bay.
Platypus Bay, so this is where all the whales come during winter.
Exactly.
Wow, and Rooney's Point?
Yeah, Rooney's just behind us, so we're basically at Rooney's Point, but this whole area is Platypus Bay.
Wow, it's a magnificent fishing spot. You get a whole plethora of fish during summer and winter, in fact all 4 seasons, from long-tailed tuna through to mackerel, and of course out here on the reefs for coral trout and everything else, and during the summer or warmer months, the black marlin, which is what we're after today. The gear that we're running here, mate, this is a lot different, isn't it?
Yeah, so what we've got here is just spin tackle. So I've got a Shimano Grappler, Shimano Stella, 20-pound braid and 80-pound leader.
And that's it, and we've got a single hook up here, which is just a tuna circle. What size is that, mate?
So I think that's a 6.0 circle hook.
Right.
So it's a fine gauge circle hook for these marlin because they've got a really hard bill.
Yep.
And we've just sort of looped that on, done a bit of a hitch around there with a crimp about 2 inches above.
It's a very simple rig, so no sinker whatsoever required?
No sinker, so we're skipping these gars on the surface.
Now, we've got with us some tweed bait garfish, some sea gar. Come on in close, and we'll get the rigging up by the professional himself.
All right, so we've got a garfish. So first thing I'm going to do is cut his bill off, and then his pec fins. So the fins, if you don't cut these off, the garfish will spin. So that's done. So next thing, we get the wax thread. Just do an overhand knot. Just like so. Grab the garfish over his head.
You're taking his eyes out too?
Yes, so we take the eyes out because that obviously stops the fish from spinning and all that sort of stuff. So we've gone through there. And then we're going to go over on top of his beak. Let's get that back in there. So I'm just going to pull this down a bit. So get over the top here. Of course I'm struggling. Go over the top here. Here we go. There we go. Pull it down on that. Nice and snug. So that's just a little overhand knot right there. Now these pieces we're going to go through the eye one way. And then back through the other with the other end, just like this. You can use a bait needle to do this if you need to. Back through there. And that creates a bit of a cross, if you can see that. So then we're just going to go underneath his chin, do the overhand knot again, like so. Then we're going to pull that down under his chin. Pull that tight, and that gives you your bridle. So this piece here, I'll just cut off the tags. This piece here is perfect for your circle hook. We'll just slip it straight in there. So the circle hook, straight in under there, and that is not moving anywhere.
So Chozza, we talk about sticky hooks. Tell people at home, what does that actually mean?
So sticky hook is just basically the sharpness of the hook. So in marlin world we say hooks aren't sticky if they're blunt, and we want them as sticky as we can. So basically if that is not pricking your skin nicely, it's not sharp enough.
Alrighty, well that's how you rig up the tweed bait sea gar, ready of course for the billfish. So let's get it put into the action, and fingers crossed we come up with a billy or two.
How good.
Nice. So Chozza, tell me about the distance we need to have our bait skipping out the back of the engines.
Yeah, so here we just want to be just away from the prop wash but still in the wash. So we're about 5-6 metres back there is our first one. If we had a spread, that'd be just set back, each lure would be back a bit further.
Obviously troll speed is super important, whether you're towing a bibless lure, a diving lure, a bib lure, of course pushers, you know, and of course gar. What's the optimum speed?
Well, when we're trolling for marlin with our pushers and our gar, between 5 and 7 knots is very good. Obviously the garfish a little bit slower, around that 5.5 knots, but your pushers can handle sort of, you know, anything up to 8 or 9 knots, but 5 and 7 knots is our goal.
I notice also you have a rubber band here, mate. I have seen that you actually leave the bail arm open, you tie this up here. Why did you do that?
So what happens there is we've got a gar on here with a circle hook.
Yep.
So basically, when that fish hits the gar, that rubber band will snap and be in total free spool, and that gives the fish time to swallow the bait and get that hook right in the corner of the mouth.
And obviously that's what we use a tuna circle is to get that hook in the corner.
Yeah, get the hooker in the corner. Obviously it stays in better throughout the fight and you won't lose the fish, and also it's better for the fish.
So what you're saying also is that we need to have free spool to get that bait into the fish's mouth.
That's right, because it's a circle hook, it's got to roll around in the corner of the mouth. So it's not like a J hook where it's just basically jagging the fish. It's actually going to work its way into the corner.
So that's it there basically?
Yep, that's exactly it. So that'll just break away, and then the fish will be free with that bait in its mouth. We'll give it 10 seconds and then we should have a good hookup.
And super important to keep an eye on it as well, because you're not hearing the drag or anything, are you?
That's right, you've got to be watching when you're using gars. It's a very visual, you've got to watch your rod, watch your gars and the spread.
There he is, just there. When you're out here fishing and we're only running, like these are the grappler type seas. These are a fantastic Shimano rod here. And of course we have got the little Stella 6000. It's lightweight sport fishing at its best. Now we've opted away from the monofilament. We're going braid in this case. A lot of people ask, do you run braid for marlin? Well, the answer is this, yes you can. Would you do it on the big fish? Well, years ago you used to run Dacron. So you can do it. So it's a matter of keeping that rod tip bent at all times. When he jumps, you wind. Unbelievable on the garfish. What a catch. Hey everyone, look at this! Oh! Choz, where are these fish born, mate? Like, what's the, I guess, the starting point of them? Because here at Harvey Bay, we're talking, you know, sort of 12 to sort of 20 kilo fish, I guess, on the bigger size.
Yep.
Where do they start out at, mate?
So we believe that most of them spawn in cans. So the big ones they chase on the ribbon reefs, so their spawning site there, and there could be possibly one off the musgroves or swains, and then obviously the eggs just flow down the East Coast Current and then end up as juveniles down here.
Wow. It's an amazing sight to see so many small fish, and they're in healthier numbers, aren't they?
Yeah, good numbers. You have good spawning seasons and bad spawning seasons for that.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff can be environmental factors.
And obviously, yeah, that's the thing, if you get bad weather, well, here he comes. Oh man, you just don't get tired of this, especially when they're in large numbers. Do you ever get sick of this, mate?
Nah, never, mate.
No.
Too good.
Too good, exactly right, right? green. That means there's still so much energy and very unpredictable. Beautiful colours. Oh. Every thrust of his tail, he's taking an extra 10 feet. Uh-oh. Oh! We could feel him on that last run, and he just dives straight down. And the sharks here are quite ferocious as well, and he's just come up and said, "Thanks for coming, mate.
Yeah, well,
Dinner is served."
well, we had him on the leader for a bit, so I'll take that.
I'm going to take that as a capture as well. You know what?
Mate.
Absolutely. Choz, thanks very much,
No
mate.
worries.
I tell you what, everyone, catching black marlin up here off the Fraser coast is amazing. There's plenty of accommodation out there at Harvey Bay. You got this guy and his team that work this area relentlessly, knowing every rock. That's Harvey Bay Fly and Sport Fishing Charter. So check him out. Here's a few tips to get you underway when you venture to this beautiful part of Australia.
Firstly, you'll need a 10 to 15 kilo spin or overhead combo. Now with your garfish, single hook bridle, that means out through the nose or between the eyes. Skip the garfish about 20 metres behind the boat. Rubber band the line to the reel before it ventures up through the runners. Troll speed about 7 knots. You don't want to go too slow. You want to keep that garfish across the surface. And at the same time, you might want to put a pusher out as well, or a teaser to get that fish in close. Good luck.
And of course, thanks for watching Step Outside YouTube channel for lots of cooking and fishing action. Like, subscribe, and of course comment for more catches like this and cooking recipes.